Hey, everybody. Welcome here to Pop Culture Philosophers. It's a live PCP movie night. And tonight, by popular demand, and mostly due to Fable Mob, his dissatisfaction with my top 5 Wesley Snipes films, we are revisiting New Jack City. That's right. New Jack City, everybody. Came out in 1991, directed by Mario Van Peebles.
Yeah.
My Peoples. His first debut. You can have multiple debuts. Why not? His debut as a film director from 1991, starring Wesley Snipes and a whole bunch of other people, including Flavor Flav and Keith Sweat. So, here with me tonight, I got good old Jab Jelani. What's up, buddy?
Oh, not much, man. Good to be here.
Good to have you here. We got Mike 06, the voice. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going swell here in New Jack City. And we've got him, the Mario Master Mutant Micro Machine Maniac, Brooks. It's almost like your name should start with an M. I wanted to call you Brooks. What's up, Brooks? How you doing?
No.
So tonight
I draw the line.
Okay. And I will respect the line. Or maybe I'll just walk it a little bit and kind of go back and forth.
Yeah.
You know how it goes, Brooksy. Anyway, we're talking about New Jack City because a couple weeks ago on a live stream, I did my top 5 favorite Wesley Snipes movies. It didn't have New Jack City on it because I haven't seen this movie since high school. So that's over 20 years ago. And it wasn't an action film, so I wasn't really like, I don't know, I've been in action fest mode, right? But I definitely told everybody that we would revisit New Jack City, and I am immensely glad that we did. I remember liking this movie, but I think this movie gets swallowed up by other classics like Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society and Juice and South Central and even How to Drink Your Juice While Rolling Through the Hood and whatever that movie was, and even Friday, you're right? I think this movie gets overshadowed by what follows it. But you cannot deny its place as a gangster film and as being a black-oriented gangster film. Basically, Mario Van Peebles wanted to give black people a Goodfellas. He wanted to give them their Scarface. And I think that this movie, friends, I think it's better than Scarface. I think it's an absolute brilliant film. I think it's one of Wesley Snipes' best performances. It's amazing. He plays Nino Brown. It's amazing that he can play someone so vile and heinous, but you still at the same time are like, this dude's kind of cool. Just a little bit, right? But it's got a great cast of characters. It's got some really interesting bits in it. I think it's a pretty good movie, and I'm very glad that Fable, who I see here, and Herminio and others coalesced together to demand that we do it. So just once again, pay attention, PCP Army. We listen. We pay attention to you. 100%. Jelani, what do you think about this film overall, and what do you think about it on the revisit?
Man, I haven't watched this movie in like decades. It has been a really long time since I saw this film, and I remember it. I remember it well. I remember Chris Watt rocked the most in this film. So there are a lot of good references. There are a lot of good things in this film. Mario Van Peebles plays this crazy captain, or I'm not sure what he is. And I like his role at times. I love Judd Nelson. He's harsh. And I also love, of course, Ice-T. Ice-T makes this film, and how stone cold he is in this film really brings it out. I really liked his character. I really love Nino Brown, of course, but I love Ice-T in this film. If I had to choose between the two, Scotty. In between the two, I choose him over Nino just by a little bit. Just a little, because of course Wesley Snipes blows out of the water too as Nino Brown. He's so evil. Like, while they were getting shot at that wedding, he picked up that kid as a human shield.
Yeah,
it's just dirty, and I'm like, oh man, but that's how it was. I mean, I think Mario Van Peebles captures the drug. Like the drug war that was raging in the
crack
80s.
epidemic, yeah,
and the 100%. Crack epidemic really well. He really gets, he understands it and illustrates it very well. So I mean, I still like this film. It's been a while since I've seen it, but on the rewatch, it's very decent.
Yeah, so the movie was made in 1991, and it's set in the 80s, obviously, and it's got iconic fashion, hairstyles, music. It's got a great soundtrack. And a great cast of characters, but it does deal with that crack epidemic. And one of my favorite things about this film is that, and this comes from the Roger Ebert review that he did initially. He gave it like 3 out of 4 stars. So I guess
Roger Ebert was giving out your digs.
If he was doing your digs, he would have given it, I see, 3 out of 4. He probably would have given it like a 4 or a 3.5, right? But he was saying that it's hard to make an anti-war war film, because the nature of filming war violence is inherently exciting. And it's the same thing to do with like a movie about crime. Scarface doesn't really paint it being like a bad thing until the very end, that this dude's like this major drug kingpin, right? And he said that what New Jack City did was that it absolutely did do that. It painted it where it wasn't at all glorifying this life. Like, there are moments where you're like, there are actually not many moments where you think it's good to be one of the CMBs, one of the Cash Money Boys. It's really not, right?
Cash
and so they
Money
did
Brothers,
straight money.
Cash
My bad. That's my bad. That's my bad. So I think that it does do a great job of not just being like a mafia movie or anything like that for the 80s, but it also does a great job of painting it as a life that's not very good to be involved in all the way through, not just at the end when the villains get theirs. What about you, Mike? What'd you think about it on the revisit? What do you think about this movie in general?
It was enjoyable. I liked it. It's probably been about 20 years since I've seen it, so it was enjoyable. I mean, it was fun. Like, it's not really an action movie, but it's a crime movie. So. But it's got the action in it.
It's a gangster film. This is not part of Action Fest. Action Fest is on hold until next week when we wrap up. So,
well, I mean, you could crowbar this in to Action Fest.
It has action. There's a lot of action
if you really wanted to. So
I guess you could, yeah. No, it's got no more action than your typical police procedural, though, right?
Right.
And that's one thing that I do think is the weak point of. Yeah, and I think one of the weak points of this movie is. Even though it doesn't glorify the Cash Money Brothers, even though there's Keisha's there as well. It like the cop side of it to me lacks. Like, Ice-T's okay in the movie. I think Scotty's okay, but I'm way more involved in G Money and Dada Man or whatever they call him,
Dada Man.
Yeah. And Nino and Keisha than I am the cops. Like, the cops. I mean, Ice-T's okay, but like Judd Nelson to me, like, he's just the generic.
Just there.
I'm the crazy one. Why?
Well, no, it's all about Scotty and Pookie. Like, that's
when Pookie gets involved, that's when I care about the cop.
Yeah,
right. But I'm saying, but before
that comes and goes quick.
But it's Ice-T that you're supposed to care about. So
I get that. I'm just saying the people surrounding Nino are more involving and engaging to me than the other cops. Mario Van Peebles, I don't care. The Asian dude, I don't even remember his name. Like, I don't care.
But like, I think I think I like G Money a lot better than I did to Nino Brown.
No, I get that. I think you're supposed to.
So
Yeah.
Like, but Wesley Snipes' performance is iconic. I mean, even though it's been 20 years plus since I've seen this movie, it is embedded in my head the line, sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Make change.
Like, that's like in my brain. And then there are times I couldn't even remember. Like, what movie is that from? Oh, that's
I've
Wesley.
heard
That's
you
New
use that like
Jack.
a lot, and I was like, what is that from?
It's like shoot me in a dream. You better wake up and apologize, right? Speaking of shoot me in a dreams, he does it every night. Brooks, what do you think about this movie? And how long had it been since you watched it?
I had never seen this movie.
You've never seen it.
Yeah, I never had. It's not the kind of movie I would have watched as a kid, though. Like, gangster movies weren't really something I was, that my parents would allow, They'd let me watch, like, mindless action movies like Rambo and stuff, but, gangster stuff's kind of different, it's a different kind of violence. It's very, senseless in a way, and,
Like war's not?
well, yeah, but I mean...
No, I get it, though. Like, going off to war is
like
different than becoming a criminal.
Stuff, which is kind of hypocritical, but, that's just the way we see things, I guess. But I thought it was a very interesting kind of take on, like, the dark side of the American dream. The whole, like, these gangster movies are all about, rising up, like the American dream, getting the money, having the money, having everything, all this stuff. And, they don't really go so much into, like, the people that are getting hurt, like, the people that they're selling these drugs to. Like, there's a guy in here who's like always going up to him. He's like, you're selling poison to your own community, which is true. And it really like makes it, when he's, doing something good, like, giving free food away and stuff like that, it makes it seem very hollow, like, he's just putting on a show. And, that's really what it is. It's like, because he doesn't care about his community. He only cares about, climbing up with himself and his friends,
Yeah. Yeah, and like you were saying, like, there's a reason in the intro where the first clip from the movie that I showed was him on trial saying, this is the American dream. And then he goes on further. He goes, we don't make Uzis in Harlem. We don't have no poppy fields here, and it is a great exploration of that, because they make a big point in the first act of this film to point out that this is a poor community, right? Mm-hmm. And that without this drug empire that they're building by selling crack, because that's what the movie is. It's Wesley Snipes' character is introduced to the idea that they can sell crack by G Money, and that they could grow this empire out. They do. He becomes big. He gets full of himself. He goes straight up Tony Montana. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He just himself is not addicted to the drug. Other people, of course, in his crew are. And they do make a point to let you know that this is not a good drug. It's not a good thing that they're doing to their community. But it also gives it the idea of the American dream of rising yourself up by the bootstraps. And in communities where there's literally no opportunity to do that, this is the opportunity that presents itself. I think the movie does a great job of capturing that. Let's take a look at the chat real quick. We got Ruben in the house. What's up? Hey, Perry's in the house. One of the few movies he's actually seen, so that's always super cool. It's random that you haven't seen any of the MCU films until recently, but you've seen New Jack City. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Easy Readers in the house. What's up, my man? We've already mentioned Fable and Herminio. DT's in here. Rockabye, baby.
Herminio!
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
You know it. Comic Book Therapy's in the house as well. He also says Ice-T should have stuck to music. I think he should stick with acting, personally. He was never my favorite rapper. He's okay. But it's weird, though, that the guy that gave us Cop Killer plays so many cops in movies and TV, right?
Yeah.
He's got my second favorite line in the movie.
I want to shoot you so much right now. My dick's hard.
My dick's hard.
Oh, my God.
And he makes that face.
His delivery of it.
Face. Just
it's great. It's
like,
great.
Yeah.
So what do you think about Ice-T in this movie, Jelani?
I love Ice-T in this movie, man. I don't know what you're talking about. He is so like I said before, he is so stone cold. And especially at the end of the movie, when what happens, he just puts his shades on and just looks away, and I'm like, yeah. He was just, I don't know, he was just a cop trying to make the streets better. by getting Nino Brown off the street. And he does such a good job of it. And like the whole scene, which is basically a montage. I remember this being longer of him trying to rehabilitate Pookie. I have no clue why, but it was so fast. It was like, it wasn't even a song.
It was a Rocky montage, man.
It was a Rocky montage. It was just really, really fast. It's like, yeah, put him in the thing. What was he doing the whole time Pookie was in rehab? That's the stuff I was trying to find out. I was like, I thought there was more to this. I remember this movie being longer than what it was. But I love Ice-T. He is by far one of my favorite characters in this movie. Next to, of course, Pookie and Nino. But yeah, that's it.
Fable says, on my recent view, the only problem I have is the editing. You can tell this movie was longer. That kind of hits what you were saying.
Yeah.
This movie deserves to be longer. There needs to be more of the rise and fall. You know what I'm saying? Because it kind of gets muddy in the like the mid switch point from the first phase of Act 1 or Act 2.
Stories, you know, like the cop story and the Wesley Snipes story.
Yeah.
You kind of have to.
They may have
watered them down some. Just
I would think that the cop stuff is the one that got cut the most, and maybe it did because it wasn't as exciting. I'll be honest. If this movie was 20 minutes longer, but it's all about the cops, maybe it's not it's not as engaging, because that's where the movie gets generic to me. You know, is like they're all just in roles. Mario Van Peebles. Did you say his name is Wong?
Wong. Yeah, that was I can't remember that guy's real name right now, but he played Wong. He got killed by Nino.
Yeah, and him and then Judd Nelson. Like it just doesn't work. It doesn't work for me as well. I'm trying to figure out the
there. He was Judd Nelson was just kind of there. I mean, he was good at the end, you know, helping Scotty out at the end. But you know, he was right. But he was the guy that was like breaking in and like stealing financial records.
He's supposed to be the crazy unhinged cop.
Yeah.
You know, but they don't really show it aside from when he's just shooting his gun in this dude's random apartment. By the way, did you just kill somebody? Like, what the hell?
I'm pretty sure he killed somebody.
And I think that there was supposed to be more there to build up the relationship between Judd Nelson's character and Scotty, because Ice-T doesn't like Judd Nelson at first, but by the end they have each other's backs. And I feel like we're missing that development.
Yeah, but they don't. There's no chemistry. Yeah, there was no real chemistry.
You got it.
It's like Ice-T just get mad at him for saying something like it's a black thing, and Ice-T will get pissed off at him, and then later on he tells him, like after the funeral, he tells him like, I was Pookie, like just a different circumstances. I'm just white trash instead, you know.
Yeah,
it was the same thing. And then they, you know, that's kind of their bonding moment, I guess.
Yeah,
Mike, what do you think about Ice-T in this film? And Judd Nelson, while we're on the subject.
Real quick, the Russell Wong.
Is the Wong? That's right. Sorry.
Oh, but his name in the movie is Park. Officer Park.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that. I get them mixed up.
I like Scotty and the Crazy Wild Man. Can't remember his name. Judd Nelson played. Like, it was, who did he play? Jeez, he's not even top IMDb. Nick Peretti.
Peretti.
So like,
what's up, my brother?
He's a wild man. Like, ooh, like he shoots his gun. Like,
I'm crazy.
But then like he doesn't do a lot. So it's kind of, unless it's kind of like the Ice-T, like, I care. So he's like, oh, I need to take this serious. Like, I don't need to be a wild man. Like that Pookie moment they shared at the funeral. Like, that could have been his, like, flip the switch. I'm going to go calm, cool, rational. So, but I do like Scotty. I like Scotty's reason for, they gave a lot about Scotty because, like, what happened to his mom. But you can see that when he's at the school watching the kids, and, like, it's all about the kids and the next generation. Like, he's watching and looking after. So he's the one that goes after the girl at the wedding and rescues her and gives her to Selena.
Yes. After Nino just completely uses her as a shield. Speaking of using small children as shields, Brooks, what do you think about Ice-T and the character Scotty? Allegedly, my bad. Those go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, in that the gangster segments are more interesting than the cop segments. but I thought the cop stuff was pretty good too still. And I think Ice-T has a lot to do with that because Ice-T is just kind of one of those guys that's like naturally angry and he's good at being angry. Like, because this character calls for that. Like he's a cop who's outraged at all the, injustice in the world and how nobody's doing anything about it. And everybody feels powerless because, guys like this, like Nino Brown you'll finally catch him. And then he'll find a way to slither out, And it's frustrating that these, criminals can just keep doing these things. Like these guys can just roll up in this place, take a building and hold all these people hostage. I mean, that's kind of fucked up.
An entire apartment building. Is
the Carter a real building?
Like that was some Judge Dredd shit right there.
It was.
The Carter real?
It was.
I know
Carter,
it's
I don't think
it's real to Lil Wayne.
Didn't Jay-Z make an album called The Carter?
Yes.
Yeah, but his last name is also Carter. But Lil Wayne made 3 The Carter albums.
The Carters, yeah.
Was it The Carter or The Carter?
The Carter.
Ah, of course.
Well, keep talking. I'm trying to figure this out. If it's a real building.
Got him in research mode.
It's based on Graham Court, allegedly. It's the Graham Court is what it is.
So it's based off a real building, but it's not an actual.
Yeah,
it's not the Carter. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say there's also a lot of the Nino crap. What's that dude's name? Bumpy Johnson. There's a lot of similarities with Bumpy and Frank Lucas in the American Gangster story, and with Nino and the New Jack story. So, and you kind of get the same. You could almost do a comparison between Ice-T. Keep want to say Ice Cube because I like him so much better.
I would think that the Nino Brown character is meant to be a little bit. I get the similarity, but I think didn't the Denzel character care a little bit more about his community and less about his ambition? Maybe not as much, but I don't know. They make a they really get into the idea that Nino Brown only cares about himself.
Well, no, the reason I said that is because they're doing when Pookie gets the turkey.
Yeah.
And he's giving out turkeys, and that was in Thanksgiving dinner, and that was a thing that I remember from American Gangster, and that Bumpy Johnson was always doing.
Yeah, it's a thing I remember politicians doing too.
That Frank, I remember WKRP in Cincinnati, they threw
WKRP in
2 turkeys from the helicopter.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about Nino then. Wesley Snipes, what a great role. He sinks his teeth into this role. He makes it iconic. I think this is a better performance. This may sound like sacrilege to some people. I think Wesley Snipes, Nino Brown is a more compelling and exciting performance than Al Pacino as Scarface, as Tony Montana. And definitely that's what they're modeling at. You know what I'm saying? He even says very similar things to the kind of phrasing.
They watch Scarface in the movie.
He's obsessed with it. Obviously, he's obsessed with it, right? And so he does such a great job. He has the best lines in the movies. He's got the best fashion in the movie.
He does.
He's got the best.
That jumpsuit that G Money was wearing in the beginning was pretty tight, man.
The hat G Money was wearing in the beginning was tight.
Yeah.
But the hat that Wesley's wearing in the beginning of the movie when him and Dutta Man dropped that dude off the bridge, that's pretty freaking dope too. You know what I'm saying?
They did that in broad daylight and no one said anything.
Well,
there's a woman screaming at him while he's doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about broad daylight. What about when Keisha just blasts that fool right outside the Jeep? And I was just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
As Faith says, Keisha is ride or die.
She is. Yeah.
In this instance,
you need a Keisha.
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
But Wesley Snipes is great. This is one of his best performances. He really nails it. He really sells it. And he's able to make the movie have even a character that at times seems very one and two dimensional. He really rounds it out because as much as it's all business and it's never personal. And you get the idea that Nino feels this way about everything in his life, about his relationships with, his friends and his family and even his lovers, right? Nothing in his life is personal. He has sacrificed that side of him to build this empire up, to get to the top, to achieve his dream. And I think he's legitimately thinking that he's doing good for the community by giving money to the kids, by giving out the turkey dinners on Thanksgiving. But it's not enough. But you know that there's something else inside of him because of that incredibly powerful scene on the rooftop with him and G-Money at the end. When he's like, am I my brother's keeper? And he's like, I am. And he's crying. And you just feel it. It's such an understated and overstated performance at times that I think is absolutely brilliant. What do you think about Snipes in this film? Oh, everybody, by the way, we have Jim Mint himself. Jim
Wow.
in the house. I know this is one of his favorite movies. We were just got off the stream on Everything Comics channel for the best comics of the month. He says, still can't believe G-Money went out like that.
Yeah, he went out like that. And man, Wesley Snipes is awesome in this film. This may be like, this is one of his best roles. He is so menacing, and you like, I didn't like him. Like, I knew I wouldn't like him, but he really brings it out of you. But everyone loves him in this film, as you can tell. Over time, he's just like, he's charismatic. He goes into that club, the Starlight Club, and everyone knows him and passes him his drink immediately. And, he's just one of those guys. And, over time, he just got worse and worse and worse. You could tell it was all about him. And yeah, it's very true. G-Money, that scene on the rooftop is messed up. It really is. Cause he had an opportunity to let him go, but he said it. If you betray me again, if this guy is not who he says he is, I'm gonna kill him and I'm gonna kill you. And he said he was a man of his word, and he was like that in that movie. And he just Wesley Snipes kills it. He's so cold-blooded.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say the G-Money and Nino Brown thing to me is the crux of the movie, not the Scotty Nino thing. And I feel like they try to force, and I get it. Like, maybe you should have done something more with the three, but like, to me, I want more about what's developing between Nino and G. Like, that's what I want. Like, I could give a
friendship. Yeah, I
could give a shit about Scotty for the most part because the police stuff's kind of boring, and you're just like, let's get back to the CMB.
Yeah, and it kind of hurt me that G-Money went out like so punkish. Because, Nino steals his woman and he's all mad. But at the same time, he was loose with what he had. And he messed up and got Pookie involved in the operation. But Pookie messed himself up. I saw that coming a mile away. Like, you don't put a former crackhead around a whole bunch of crack.
Dude's been clean for like 10 minutes.
He's been clean for like a montage. And then he's like, yeah, man, let me help. He's like, no. You are a liability. You are a big old liability. He should have tried somebody else. I don't know. But, it's the movie. And I kind of guess it would happen. So, poor Pookie. But, yeah, poor Pookie. I feel bad for Pookie because Pookie should have never been anywhere near that place. You're like, everyone should have been like, hey, dude, Mario Van Peebles was like, man, you can't put a crackhead in there.
That's right. That's a bad idea. Yeah, nobody listens to me though, even though this is my task force. Yeah. But Jim Mint's got a good point too. G started smoking. He started getting high on his own fly. That's what I wanted to see more developed. Maybe if the focus would have been more on Scotty, in addition to not just about, because like I really feel like Mario Van Peebles. I'm like, I get that you want to be in the film too, but like sometimes maybe it was just there. Like the cops just kind of. Whatever. I would have liked to see more get developed. I would love to see if there's like deleted scenes that could be cut. I mean, I don't know. These days we're always clamoring for the director's cuts and the more extended versions, but this is one movie I think could benefit from that. Mike, what do you think about Wesley Snipes and Nino Brown and his relationship with both G-Money and Scotty even?
Well, real quick, there was supposed to be a sequel and a prequel for this. That was supposed to be the story of Nicholas Brown was the prequel. It's his origin story, where he came from, and like they said, it's been written, but like they said, it's never been optioned by Hollywood. So I don't know. Like I think that'd be I think that this would be a good movie to go back and revisit. Nino is a good character, and Wesley Snipes does do a great job of it. I was just more the G Money. I like that character better. Like it's like, hey man, like we're supposed to do this together, and Nino's like, no, it's all me, and it's just like, I'm gonna take your woman, I'm gonna take your money, I'm gonna take your drugs, and he kind of he breaks G's heart, and kind of puts him down that path of self-destruction, because it's like, you got a wife, like what else? You got all this, like why do you need what I have?
Yeah.
Like why are you trying to take my happiness?
And G Money came up with the idea. Yeah.
So it's just one of those, like, well, I don't get why he did it. And I mean, I get why he did it, because it's a power thing, but like G Money just could have, it sucked for him. And then it was just the relationship between him and Scotty, I thought was kind of weird, because it's like, I got your back, I'll help you out, we're brothers, we're bonded. But then all of a sudden, like at the end, like, we're gonna do this deal. Like, I'm gonna treat you like a complete stranger, just to get that scene of him bending over, so the banker can be like, oh, this guy's a cock.
Yeah.
By the way, it took like, how long did it take Kareem to recognize that dude from the beginning of the
film? So long. I would have seen that like at the basketball court. Like, that's him.
Like, he's bending down to tie his shoe. No. Oh, money. That's what it is. He's a cop.
He's 5'0". Yeah, that was Christopher Williams, I think. I can't remember his name, but he was a singer during that period of time.
Dude, what's crazy is I watched this one YouTuber talking about it this week, and he was saying that, like, this guy looks like Albie Shore, and then he goes, "What's that?" He's Albie Shore's cousin.
Yeah, it was just like Albie Shore. He sure does.
Yeah, and he's his cousin. That's why. This just cracks me up. Speaking of Albie Shore, Brooks, big fan, obviously, of your work and Shore's work. Brooks, what do you think about Nino Brown, Wesley's performance, and that dynamic Nino had with those characters?
Well, I think he did a good job. I mean, Nino is an interesting character, but I don't think that Nino changed or grew throughout the movie. It's like he seemed to be consistent to me throughout the whole thing. Because like the first thing is like, him and G Money are talking. He's showing him the crack, and he's like talking about how I can do all this stuff and everything. And he just goes right with it. He doesn't think twice about the consequences or how it'll affect people or how it'll hurt his community, And he kind of maintains that same level throughout the whole movie. He's like, I'm all about getting money for me, getting money for my crew, and keeping this organization going. Like that's like he's laser focused on this one thing, which is kind of like, it's part of that dark side of American dream. Is like, once you have everything, like all you're gonna do now is spend all your time trying to keep it. So it's like, well, what's the point, really? It's because like you're just all you're doing is trying to maintain this one thing. And like, is it really worth it in the end? And at the end, you always end up like, getting these violent deaths.
Yeah, absolutely. You wind up, just chilling in some nondescript apartment in your pajamas, getting your ass beat by the cop that infiltrated your gang.
Yeah.
I want to shoot you so bad, my dick's hard. What a bold line.
His face was so awesome.
When he said that line, I was like, I understand exactly what he's saying. I know how much he wants to kill this guy now.
I ever had like Wesley Snipes say something to Ice-T before that, like, just tell Ice-T that you had sex with his mother or something.
Well, I had sex with your wife.
Gotcha. I gotcha.
Yeah, good points there, though. 100%. I don't think there's an arc in this film. The arc is just the journey of the characters, and to me, it's meant to be a Black American Goodfellas. You know what I'm saying? It's meant to be their version, like a version of Scarface for the Black community, and it had a monumental effect on Black culture and hip hop in the years to follow. And like we said at the very beginning, I feel this movie gets overshadowed by the cinema that came afterwards. Boys in the Hood, Juice, Menace to Society, and even Friday. I think it got overshadowed by that. But this movie is trying to be real, is trying to address real problems that were going on especially in the New York Black community, with the crack epidemic in particular. and a distrust of authority figures and police, because like when you don't think that you got an opportunity or a fair shot, it makes starting a crack empire a little bit more enticing, right? But then you see the flip side of that with Ice-T. I would like to, and I get his motivation, but I think he's supposed to be the one with the arc in the film because he doesn't kill him, but then develop that, because your most interesting development to me is the Nino and G-Money stuff, and that the CMB, Keisha, Dada Man, and the rest, they're way more compelling to me than Judd Nelson, Mario Van Peebles, and the other guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so let's talk about some of the other people. What are some of the other standout performances aside from Ice-T and Wesley Snipes in this film to you, Jelani?
Dada Man. He is I keep forgetting his name. Oh gosh, I feel terrible. But he is so fantastic in this film. I don't know what it is, but he can't get his words out. He can't get his words out at all. He's just the big strong guy. That's the driver.
Bill Nunn.
I don't know what it is about him. Bill Nunn. Thank you. I've seen him in so many other things, like tons of other things. He is fantastic in this role because he doesn't have a stutter like that, but like he plays it to the nines, and I enjoy him a lot. I mean, I'm trying to give somebody else my other favorite character, so I'm just gonna walk away from it now. But yeah, that is good.
It's a good pick. Good pick. Does a great job performing as that character. Very small role, but very memorable. More memorable than Judd Nelson, in my opinion.
And he was more harsh than Judd Nelson because he got shot twice.
Dude, he kept coming back. This dude's like Jason Voorhees, man.
Yeah, he was popping up with that Uzi. I was like, "Oh, you're alive still? What?" Yeah.
I remember in like 10, 11 years old having a water gun Uzi that looked very realistic, which they would never make today. But like, I loved that thing. You put the clip in, you fill the clip up, and put it in there, and it would like shoot it was like automatic. You just hold the button down. It'd be like, it was battery powered. I love that shit. I thought it was great.
Those are the ones that you added the invisible ink to it also.
Oh yeah.
Remember those?
Yeah, the invisible. Yeah, I do. Speaking of invisible ink, what about you, Mike? Some other characters that stand out to you in this film?
Oh crap. Sorry. My notes are not in the normal spot. I just set it down.
You brought notes to this show? Do you not realize how we do this? We
Yeah, well, I was just going to say character.
This ain't prepared.
I have no notes in front of me. I have beer, e-juice, and a issue of Family Tree.
I forgot. It's
okay, man.
But I watched this movie like 2 hours ago and just was in the middle of other things. So, but Keisha's my favorite character.
Yes.
And so, just the way she's, like Jim said, she's ride or die. Like, we getting shot at the wedding. Like, I'm just gonna run out and just.
Why would I run out and get shot like that? Yeah.
That's Vanilla Estelle Williams.
So, but like, I think she had a good death. She went out not very heroic, but very
She's
brave.
the enforcer, man. That's why she went out like that. She's the enforcer.
Yeah,
like Dada Man is supposed to be the bodyguard, and now you know why, the way it takes him forever to go out. But she shoots that dude outside the Jeep, man. It still just blows me away, man. I'd like to see a side project with her. I want her story.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I also think it's just dope and badass that in 1991 they put a woman in a prominent role in his gang. You know, like she wasn't just someone's lady. She was a figure in that gang and very important. And without her, they would have all got a long time ago.
Yeah, because even when what's his face? When Scotty rolls up to the basketball court, she's the first one that's just like, hey, who is this? Because she sees him walking, and she's eyeing him, and she's just following along the fence line. So, like, she knows what she's doing. So,
what about you, Brooksy? My bad, Brooksy.
I think, like Pookie, he probably gets the biggest arc, I think, in this movie. Out of like the
his arc goes like this.
Yeah. I think it's the saddest one too, because you see him like at his lowest point when he's like so into the crack, and then like he gets better, and and then you feel like he genuinely wants to help the police, to stop this thing because he knows how bad it is. Then you see him struggling, like when he's trying to keep himself from, taking that hit, but eventually, like he's just too weak, and it ends up being the death of him. So yeah, I think Chris Rock it's interesting seeing him play a non-comedic role like that.
Yes. And early in his career too.
Right.
In 1991, and he nailed the hell out of it, man.
Yeah, he did.
Like the pain, the depravity, the turmoil inside to not take that hit and then to give into it, and like in the tragedy of it. He nailed it. He nailed it 100%. Was he say something? He's like, once it starts calling you or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's here has ever dealt with any form of addiction, but it's no shit.
It's
like once
that.
Yep, it is.
One of the cool things though about Pookie was that was originally supposed to be Martin Lawrence.
Wow.
But,
I read that today. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like they were going for a stand-up comedian for some reason for that role. I don't know. Maybe to give him the.
Apparently, Chris Rock didn't nail it, but Martin Lawrence did. So I don't know if they changed that character of Pookie for Chris Rock because it was originally supposed to be Martin Lawrence. I can't remember. It's the guy that did Bebe's Kids.
Okay.
I can't remember.
Oh, Robin Wright.
Yeah, he passed away when he passed away, and then Martin Lawrence was real close, so he left because of that.
The one that I want to highlight is Bill Cobbs as the old man, and his character has no name. It's just the old man. He's like the one guy who can actually, well, I think many people can see what Nino does, but he's the only guy with the balls to like multiple times approach him and even tries to kill him, right? And then does kill him at the end. And I love his character, and we just recently saw him in Demolition Man.
Yep.
So don't forget that role 2 years later, another movie with Wesley Snipes. Well, but I love that performance. I love that character. I love that tacked on ending. They could have ended this movie with Wesley Snipes kind of getting away, and that would have been a powerful moment. But getting to see him get his due by the hands of this old man, and I love the scene when he comes in, and when he's giving the money to the kids, when Wesley's doing that, and he comes in and he pulls the gun out the first time. And of course, Scotty, being in his character, has to go and like pull him aside. But straight up, I'm like, that's when he just gave himself away to be a cop because he didn't shoot this dude. And I'm like, why didn't Keisha do it? Was Keisha there? Maybe she wasn't.
Keisha was there, I think.
Maybe because all those kids were there, they didn't want to kill him. But like, you would think that that's what they would have done. But I thought that was a standout performance. I also do want to point out great performances by Flavor Flav as the DJ of the Starlight Club, and Keith Sweat as the wedding singer. So pretty dope performance.
Listen, there's so many talents in here. There's Gerald Levert from Levert. They're the ones that sing at the wintertime when they're like, it's a New Jack City.
Yes.
Ooh, ooh, oh yeah. That's Levert. At the beginning, that's Troop. That was an older 90s group or older 80s group, but they start in the springtime. But it's Troop, and then it ends with Levert, and it's their song. Oh my God, it's all a cappella, and it shows all of that stuff. And like I said, Christopher Williams. Yeah, and there's so many people in it. Like the guy that was like the preacher that had the wedding, like his daughter. That's I think that's Simpson from Ashford and Simpson. They were like a singing group back then.
Yeah,
there's so many people that like I noticed. I was like, hey, he's in that movie. Yeah, there's just so many people, man. It's awesome.
And it's got a great soundtrack too. Like Queen Latifah's on that song with Troop in the soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
You've got Essence, you've got Keith Sweat, Ice Cube. I mean Ice-T, not Ice Cube. God damn it, Mike, you got me doing now. 2 Live Crew, but whatever. The soundtrack's great. And one thing that, if anything,
guys in it. I mean, there are a whole bunch of like African American groups that are just blowing up in this movie. I was pointing out everybody, but
and if one thing that this movie will let you know is how much everybody in the early 90s was into Color Me Bad, because Out of
Well,
all the
let's get
great
up.
songs on the soundtrack, the one that you probably hear the most in the movie, aside from the acapella bit, was "Color Me Bad." I want to sex you up.
I want to sex you up.
You up, oh dude, and it's so
Yeah.
freaking good. That's actually, I don't give a shit what anybody says. "Color Me Bad" is bad
Ashford.
ass.
Nick Ashford. He was right. Yeah, Easy Reader's right. That was Nick Ashford. That was the guy that played that dude. Yeah,
There you go.
that's right.
Yeah, so I love the
Good.
soundtrack and
Good
everything. So
stuff.
overall, what do you think about the structure of the movie? I think there's some missing bits. I think the cop stuff could have been either brought in to be more interesting, or it could have just been kind of cut down and more focus put in on the CMB and the journey of Nino and G Money's relationship. What do you think, Jelani, about the structure and thematic material of the movie?
I think the movie is too short for certain parts of it. Like it's kind of choppy. I think it does a lot. I know they're trying to get two stories to merge together, but it's a little choppy for me. It has, like I said, the whole montage with Pookie is it's kind of a complaint for me, because I was like, that was way too fast. I don't know, something about it just felt montagey that didn't need to be. The end kind of wrapped up a little quick for me because of the. Oh yeah, and another question. So was he still selling crack after the Carter shut down? Because the Carter, like, the cover's blown, and that was his main plan. Are they still rich? I mean, did they still have, like, they're sitting on tons of cash, and they're just like, well, we're just getting crack.
He's probably sitting on something, is what I'm guessing. But I think at that point he was in hiding, so he wasn't doing anything high profile. Plus, his whole operation was gone. I think he was just hiding out.
Yeah,
so
that's what I thought. Okay, so it was just just little things like that. I think that the cop scene, I mean, the cop scenes were okay, and they were kind of boring. You do want to see more of the Cash Money Brothers, like, do their thing and be a part of this, but you need the merger of the two. I just don't think they did it as Mario Van Peebles didn't do it as cohesively as I think he should have.
Yeah,
and the movie needs to be a little longer to reflect it. That's what I believe about it.
I agree. What about you, Mike? What do you think about the structure and everything?
To counter one of the points that Jelani made was they were talking about, I think him and G Money were talking about they were looking for another location, or they had found another location to start up the enterprise again. But like G Money, I think somebody was having like second thoughts about, like, I don't think that's right. Like, it was kind of like, I don't know, but it felt kind of choppy. This movie did in the editing, like, it was just kind of like start go. So because you're kind of like, okay, we did this. It's like for every Scotty scene, there's a Nino scene. So it was all just like A B A B A B. It just, I don't know. There's something about it. The character work and the characters were great, and the story was great. But like I said, there was just. It was really fast, and it was just kind of like, here, it was like an hour and 20 minutes.
It's like an hour 40 or something, I think.
Yeah.
So it seemed like it was real. I didn't think it was a full hour and a half. So it just felt like it was really fast. So
yeah, and not in a necessarily good way, right?
Right, but then again, I mean, that was what Mario Van Peebles' first directorial. So like, for the editing side of everything, like, I don't know if.
It still may be his best film, though.
That could be. It could be something with that. So I don't know.
Well, I'm serious. It could still be his best film. I mean, what else he did? Posse, right? Posse's okay.
I like that one he did about I like the one he did about his dad. What is it called?
I don't know. Well, he's actually got a lot of movies, more than I've seen.
All right.
Wow, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Badass. That was it.
Oh, okay, from 2003.
Yeah. The one.
Okay.
And
he's done some television work, too, so that's cool. He did an episode of Lost. Holy cow.
He directed a lot of
Sons
TV.
of Anarchy, Law and Order, Empire. He directed the 2016 Roots. I've never seen that one. But
I haven't seen that one either.
The Avengers Fantastic Four crossover event?
What'd you say?
You said Empire, right?
Oh, Jesus. Anyway, Brooks, what do you think about the structure of
With
this
the
film?
Y. With the Y. Empire Wire.
Brooks, what do you think about the structure, and just kind of wrap up our thoughts on the film for us?
I thought it was good. I would have liked if they'd had some more meat to the gangster characters, especially Nino. I think Nino needed a little more humanizing traits because like on like Scarface, for example, with Tony Montana, you see him like he has that moment with the kids where he's like, Manny's over there trying to impress the girl. He like goes over to the kids. And he's like, "Hey, look at this guy." You see he's got a kind of a playful human side to him, and I don't think Nino got that. I mean, the closest he got was like, he's giving the kids the money, but that kind of rings very hollow because it also seems like, he's just trying to pacify the people that he's basically fucking over at the same time. And, it just doesn't feel like genuine. It feels like just him, doing his normal thing. And I think it would have felt a little more, if he'd had a little more of that humanizing element to him. But overall, I still think it's a pretty damn good movie. I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they intentionally. I think that was all intentional. I don't think they wanted to give him any humanizing thing. I don't think Mario Van Peebles wanted anybody to be able to relate to him aside from just ambition. But was that a fault of the film? Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't. I don't necessarily think it was. I think the fault of the film is that the most compelling bits of it don't get the attention as compared to the less compelling bits, which are to me mostly about the cops. Pick a side or be able to handle the balance. I don't think it handles the balance very well. So that all being said, now we're about to get to the ratings. So you out there in the chat, let us know as well. And I'm going to ask Jelani, out of 5 possible you digs, what do you give New Jack City?
I think I will give this film, and I give this because it's a good movie. It's got its things. Wesley Snipes is fantastic. Ice-T is great as well. I love Pookie. There are just a lot of characters in it that you can point out. The story is choppy, and there are a lot of good things with it. So I'm gonna give it like a 3.5. As far as rewatchability, I mean, I may watch this movie again, maybe years from now, like I did, because like I said before, I watched this like 20 years ago, maybe, or more. It's probably been more, but it was good, and I give it a 3.5. It's pretty decent.
I think that's a respectable you dig rating for this one. What about you, Mike? Out of 5 possible you digs, what do you give New Jack City?
Well, one of the things real quick that I want to bring up, and I'm bad about this, was you were talking about Menace to Society, and that came out, I think, in July of 91. But one of the things that hindered this movie, well, it didn't really hinder it, but the Rodney King beating happened like a few weeks after this movie was released. So I think I think world issues and U.S. issues is a reason why this movie kind of got overlooked. Because it was just in a light that America really didn't want to look at. I guess that's one of the things that I've read about on this.
That's a good point.
But like with that said, like the acting is good, the story's okay. It's not in my top 5 Wesley Snipes films. It'd be in my top 10, but it's not top 5. And I have to agree with Jelani and go 3.5.
A 3.5 from Mike. All right. Another, it's respectable, but it's not like it is a flawed film, even though, like you said, it has great performances and it's got a little bit of a weak story at times. There's just an imbalance to me about as if they didn't know what the compelling nature of the story was going to be. Brooks, out of 5 possible you digs, what do you give New Jack City?
I have to agree. Yes, it's a 3.5. For me, it's a good movie and it's entertaining, but it feels like there's something missing. Like I feel like it needs just a little more, to fill in some of the spaces. So it feels kind of like it's been like you just need more about these characters, to care more about them.
Yeah, This is one of those rare instances where we're all going to be in agreement. I give it a 3.5 as well, which makes an average of 3.5, which means we were all right.
Yay!
But yeah, I think, we've gone over it, but great performances, very compelling characters, some characters that are less so. And the movie doesn't maintain a good balance between the two of them. It's got great moments. I will revisit this movie more often than I had in the past. But it's not it's not without its flaws, and its flaws stick out like a Pookie when he's on crack, trying to act like he's not on crack. So that's what I would say. In the chat, we got Easy Reader gives it 4, you digs. Fable agrees with the PCP crew and gives it 3.5. And Herminio gives it a 4. So we're all in that same range. So yeah, I think we can all agree on that. And that thus ends our New Jack City review. But have no fear. We're going to be bullshitting for just a little bit longer and doing some show and tell right after this short intermission. Thank you for joining us, PCP Army.
Okay.
Well, we didn't have a super chat or nothing. I just wanted to play the Joker video for everybody. Give me a little bit more time to get back into the room. So, what's up, everybody? We're gonna be bullshitting for a little bit longer here, not too much longer. We're not doing a 3-hour stream tonight or whatever. Man, these back-to-back streams I've been doing these last couple weeks, man, woo!
They take you out, man.
Woo, woo, woo.
Get a life, bro.
This is my life, Brooks. It's yours too. Apparently, you're the one still here.
Yeah.
You can leave anytime you want, Brooks. Just go on. Why don't you just get the fuck out of here? I'm just kidding. If you guys have any questions, pop culture related, anything you want to get us going on about movies, comics, pop culture, TV, a whole lot more, I'll start us off with Umbrella Academy Season 2's out now.
Yay!
I haven't watched any of it yet. But I plan on watching episode 1 when this is over.
I guess I better get Netflix again. Hey, it's
it's time to unlock that new free trial, Jelani. Just come up with a new email, right?
Yep. Different.
Well, Jelani, I figured you would get it for the new Transformers show.
But that's what I was going to say. The Transformers animated series debuted
That's
today
exactly
as well.
why.
So.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to try to
War
do.
for Cybertron.
Yeah.
The Siege, yeah.
Yeah, Siege.
It's only six,
Brooks is like, finally, something on Netflix I want to watch.
it's only 6 episodes.
Man, I just hate they made Mirage a bad guy. That's the only thing.
You're gonna have to watch it.
Okay.
Yes,
You've already watched it, Mike?
Yeah, I've burned through it already.
Tell us a spoiler-free brief review of it.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not great. I'm a Transformers fan, so I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna enjoy it. If you're new, I don't know who they made this for because it seems very adult but also very kid-like.
At the same time,
it's very slow. It is a slow burn. It is the first 2 episodes are boring.
Oh no!
And it's like character setup. By the time episode 3 gets around, it's kind of like, okay, great, this is awesome. Shockwave is 100% Shockwave. He's more like he is from the Marvel comics and the IDW. Megatron's more like he is in IDW, the comic, than the old TV show. Ultra Magnus, I don't know what to think about him. What's the series? Was it animated where him and Prime were brothers? I can't remember. It pulls a little bit from that, so I don't know. It's okay. I'm gonna stick around to see what happens. It picks up. The first 2 episodes. So by the time episode 6 was done, I was like, oh, cool. I kind of want to know what's going on. But it's also, there's a lot of genericness in it, which I was going to talk about during show and tell. So.
Okay.
It's if you like Transformers and you're a Transformers fan, it's something to watch. But if you're looking to jump onto Transformers, it's kind of one of those eh.
How was the animation? Because the animation in the trailer looked amazing.
Yeah,
I was fine with the animation. The only thing that freaked me that it didn't freak me out, but it just kind of a little unnerving was Megatron's lips.
He has lips.
Yeah, he has lips. Toy Shiz on Instagram said it best. So about Megatron's, but yeah, it's like I said, there's a lot of things that the oh man, it's so everybody's seen the toys, right?
Yeah.
From this line, that's what it looks like. It looks like they just scan the toy and then put it in. All the parts and the breakdown. I've got even it's gonna be hard to see, but see how his arm has all the detail. That's what it looks like. It's to the T of this.
Wow.
It shows the green. That's what it is.
And are they dirty?
Yeah, they
okay.
Looks like they've been through a war. So, and they've all got the blaster marks, and that looks cool. But it's just I don't know. They talk about Megatron and Ultra Magnus fighting in the pits in the old days, which it has a lot to do with the IADW back history for this so far, and that all hell Megatron story. I don't know if y'all remember that one about 10 years ago.
I remember it coming out, but I never read it.
Yeah, it was how Megatron rose to power, and it's kind of that's the origin. They don't explain the origins of what's going on. You just know that something's going on. So there was a war. Megatron killed Alpha Trion, and Megatron wants to take over. And then halfway through, he's like, "Well, I just want to kill Prime. That's all I want to do. I don't care about the war. I don't want to end the war. I just want to kill Prime." So it's just, yeah.
I got you.
But one of the things, so since I'll show it again. It's the reflector figure, and all the generic robots that you see are it's this. So I don't have Ironhider Wheeljack or Ironhider. What's the ambulance name? I just went
Ratchet.
So all the generic Autobots either look like Ratchet and Ironhide, or they look like Cog.
Okay.
And that's the one from Fortress Maximus. So it's just kind of who different color. That was I thought was kind of cool. They did the Seekers, and they did all the different colors. So you do see Sunstorm, Acid Rain, and all those. But
Cool.
they don't
Nice.
call them by that. But they're like, hey, let's do the Seekers. Jetfire is probably one of the best. Is the highlight. Him and Wheeljack. So
Because that figure, I have that figure. He is huge.
yeah, it's
That is a box of a figure. Oh my
and
god.
they show a quick. It's not a spoiler, but they show this quick image of Astro Train looking like he's huge.
He's a space shuttle and a train.
Right, but it's saying like in the books and everything, like he's like Omega. He's not like he's almost like Titan size. It looked like like he was like
wow.
he's like that big. Like he's humongous. Like I don't get what they did. So, but
For the figures, he's like a Voyager class figure, I believe.
yeah,
I can't remember. Yeah, he's Voyager class, so he's kind of big. He should be bigger. He should be as big or bigger than Jetfire.
but like in the show, he looks like he's bigger than Jetfire.
That's nuts.
But Jetfire,
A little bigger, just a little though, because he's still a space shuttle.
but Jetfire is about the same size, if not a little bit bigger than Megatron and Optimus Prime.
Oh,
Not by much, yeah.
Jetfire should be huge, especially in the cartoon. He was huge.
Yeah, he's about the same size. He's about the same size.
He fits
Megatron.
he fits other transformers inside of him.
Right.
Yeah. So okay. All right.
So he's a carrier Zord.
He's a carrier. Yeah, he's a carrier. Yeah.
Well, that's what they have. That's what.
And he's only used once in the cartoon, in the original, in the OG.
Skylink. They've used him. They had him in a few episodes.
Yeah.
But like
Skylink is pretty big.
he was the original.
He was huge. Yeah, he's a space shuttle. Yeah.
So. But yeah,
That's cool.
I'll end up watching it.
I haven't watched any. I'll watch it after Umbrella Academy, I'm sure.
as I said, if you're a huge Transformers fan, I say watch it. If you're a sideline fan, wait till after Umbrella Academy. Just add it to your list somewhere.
Add it to the list, which keeps growing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I am very excited that baseball is back, even though there have already been 2 COVID outbreaks amongst baseball teams that have shunted the schedule around within the first week.
Is that
The
facilities? Sorry.
it was the Marlins
I knew that.
had 15
Florida.
players test positive, and it's all as apparently a result of them going out one night together in Atlanta, and they were just playing the Phillies, and so then they had to halt all the games that people were playing against the Marlins or the Phillies. The Baltimore Orioles were playing the Marlins, and the Yankees were going to play the Phillies, and we were about to go to Philly where the Marlins had just been, and so they postponed that. They took the Phillies and the Marlins off the schedule. So the Yankees and the Orioles play 2 this week. And now the Cardinals have a little bit of an outbreak. So they had to cancel those games. And the commissioner,
Wow.
Manfred, basically came out and said, if we don't get this under control, we're going to have to shut down the season.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at basketball, which returned officially last night. I watched the Lakers and Clippers game and in the middle of watching the Yankees game too, because it was on a rain delay. But basketball the NBA seems to be handling this really well. They're all in a bubble. You know, they're all down in Orlando. They can't leave their containment zone. It's happened a couple times. They find those people. And they've had no outbreaks for like the last couple tests. So, and baseball had toyed around with doing that idea, but they decided not to do it. But basically doing like a spring training type thing. I think maybe they should have done that. But I don't know. They're gonna have to figure it out because 2 outbreaks and reschedules already in the first week. That didn't look good for the MLB.
Scary. Yeah, that's a little scary.
But the Yankees have started their season 4-1, so I'm very pleased with that. We beat the Red Sox tonight 5-1 for our home opener. Go Yankees!
Yeah,
yeah, man. You know, and the Lakers won last night too, in crazy fashion. They kept trying to give it away. It seemed like. But they managed to pull it out. And I think I'm talking with a bunch of people that don't care about baseball or basketball.
sorry,
But
dude.
Mike pretends to sometimes. Mike's like, I liked it in the 90s.
I like basketball in the 90s.
Well, here's the question. Then here's something that you two at least do have a horse in, Jelani in particular. What about football? You think football is going to make it through? In particular, college football.
I don't think college football is going to make it now, because I mean you need fans for football. On top of that, something about it, the whole crowd situation.
Did you see what the NBA did for that? Did you see what they were doing?
I haven't seen it yet. No.
So they have fans that are able to stream into the game, and they have them up on monitors in the crowd. It's really neat. It's really neat. I talked to Strickland today, and I was like, "What we got to do to like get up there?" And it's interesting. In baseball, some people are putting like cardboard standouts of like fans that win social media contests or season ticket holders and shit like that. And then some people are like, "We're not doing any of that." Like the Yankees they're not doing that. All their seats are just covered up like normal. And but they're all pumping in crowd noise. The NBA and MLB are doing that, where they're pumping in crowd noise. Now, I don't know if the crowd noise is to the players. I know in the MLB it is not. It's only to the people watching. Could you imagine how weird that would be if you're playing like a game and then they're putting in crowd noise? Because it's a delayed reaction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like someone's just up in a booth. They're like, "Did he hit a home run? Hit the button."
It's okay, man. We have to wait and see. We can't even get our normal stuff under control, much less sports. And it's gonna be a long road, man. 2020 is just the beginning.
That's what I thought funny. My sister's a teacher, so it's one of those things too. It's just like, well, here's NBA and professionals. Like you're supposed to stay in this bubble, and you're not supposed to leave, and you've got people like leaving the whole entire time. I'm like, these grown ass men can't do this. What do you think?
Kids,
a bunch of 10-year-olds are gonna do? Like there
was one NBA player, I can't remember who he was, but one NBA player left the bubble, got fined, and he was like, "I just went to go get the chicken wings." I'm like, I'd break the bubble for chicken wings, but have that shit delivered, man.
That's all you need to do.
One guy broke out. No, if that's what it was. It was the guy that broke out to go to a strip club, and he goes, "No, I went there for the chicken wings because those are the best chicken wings in the town," or something like that. And we're like, "Bruh, you just went to a strip club. Nobody goes there for food." But like the Marlins, I think there's talk about the Marlins need to be fined because they've put the season in jeopardy because a bunch of them went out on the town one night in Atlanta, and I'm like, this and that. And what a weird freaking year.
So we live a crazy time, man. When I'm walking around normal stores and see everybody wearing face masks and all this stuff, I'm like, gosh, a year ago this time, if I walked around and saw this, I'd be like, what the hell is going on?
You just entered the Twilight Zone.
Yeah. Did they go out in Atlanta? Did the Marlins go out in Atlanta before they played the Phillies or after the Phillies?
I think it was before because they got the positive results while they were playing the Phillies.
Wow. Well, see, that's kind of interesting because, I mean, they're not wearing masks and they're still relatively social distance. But it's kind of like you could still be positive and play.
It seems like so with baseball, like Aroldis Chapman tested positive, and he had to test negative twice in order to be cleared to come back. He got tested negative twice today, and he's cleared to come back. So now he has to make the journey back, right? Basically.
Wow.
The NBA seems to have this way more on lockdown than the MLB does. Like they are all in one place. They've had like 2 weeks of testing and no positives, I think. So something like that. So yeah, they seem to have the more right idea. Baseball's thing was basically like, we'll just play each other in our own time zones. I'm like, okay, that's cool, but New York's still a very far away, like a long way away from Florida. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's weird to like that the time zones, the stoppage there. And then you got teams like Toronto that don't know where they're playing because Canada won't let them. So baseball seems kind of like rushed together because it took them a long time to make that deal. The NBA had a lot of time to plan for this, it seems. But still, I'm just glad sports is back and I can stop watching so much damn cornhole tournaments.
Well, like, the funny thing about the NBA is like they're putting what were the 4 titles that they could have on their jerseys other than their name?
Well, I've seen some that said like say her name, and then some said how many more or something like that. But they're allowed to like put
that there's four.
They
like,
can put things on there in support of the Black Lives Matter movement. And
right, but it's only four certain ones. That was the biggest thing about the NBA getting off the ground was it's like, okay, we can agree on money, we can agree on a time frame, but like everybody wanted to put a message on their shirt, on the back of their jerseys for support. But then it was just kind of like, well, like it has to be this because there was going to be some super political stuff that I know a lot of those people wanted to voice, but it's like, no, you can't say that, but we have to limit. So I knew that was like a big ordeal. So I'm glad that like that was for me. Baseball, it's just like, oh, the money, and NBA is like, no, this is what we're worried about. This is why
it wasn't just about the money in baseball. It was about the length of the season as well, and about some certain safety issues.
But it's just saying the NBA was just like, hey, let's do this. Okay, cool. Like the players and the owners, they work together a lot better than the MLB players did.
Yeah, the MLB kind of breezed through that. They are allowed to wear a BLM patch if they want to, but the NBA is way more involved in that.
But I'm people sure are kneeling now, which is great. I like the fact. Yeah, I like this a lot.
Yankees kneeled. Man.
Somebody just thought that BLM is like MLB backwards.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
It is.
It's a good observation. A little weird stretch, but good observation.
Don't weird stretch me.
So we haven't gotten Brooks too involved in the situation yet. So Brooks, I want to ask you a question. I don't know how much you've had to deal with this because you don't seem to be plugged in as much as me, Mike, and Jelani are in this. But in the whole idea of the adult toy collectors market now, which all four of us are adult toy collectors, the idea of how many damn exclusives they do to stores. Like they do this figure, but it's an exclusive to Target or Walgreens or Walmart, and it's hard to get, and the scalpers get a hold of it. And then the price is raised like crazy. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I hate that shit. You know, like all these figures that you can only get through these like store exclusives and shit. Like Jelani was showing me some the other day. I'm like, oh man, I'd like to have that. Oh, it's a whatever exclusive. I'm like, well, so much for that.
Amazon.
It's like there's no point in trying to get it anymore because they never hit the shelves.
It's so sad.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
But it's like crazy how fortunate you were, Brooks, to find those Ghostbusters on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just got lucky just walking to Walmart on the right day.
Yeah, because you know how it is. It's just like with comics and with the speculation market, the scalping market and toys is pretty much similar. You know, that Gigawatt came up on Walmart.com or whatever it was and sold out within like seconds. And now people are literally selling them pre-orders for a figure that's going to be re-released by Hasbro exclusive to their site in October. People are paying like $500 or more for this figure.
That's nuts. And they're doing this on purpose now. This is evil. You can't have a Walmart, Target, Amazon Prime, all these nuts. When I remember toys, when you get toys, they come out everywhere. You go like to like GameStop randomly, and you be like, "Hey, there are toys here." You know what I'm saying? And you just get excited because it's the chase sometimes. But now it's to the point where everything is so like exclusive to the point we can't do anything anymore.
But there were Toys R Us exclusives in the 80s.
But Toys R Us
and their mail order toys too, even like the Clark Kent and stuff, right?
Yeah, so Toys R Us is a rare exception. They do have exclusives, but they had enough to give everyone. Even towards the end, they were still supplying exclusives that I was getting. You could find them. You can just go to a Toys R Us and find them.
Yeah, but I'm saying like in the 80s, in 85 or 86, 87, whenever Night Force came out, like you could go to a Toys R Us anywhere at any time and walk on the shelf and like, hey, there they are. When I was trying to find that 2-pack, Scott and Jean, Dark Phoenix,
yeah, really,
like that never like, oh hey, like I'm randomly out here towards Toys R Us. I'm gonna go see if they got it. Oh, they don't. We sold out of that on day 2. Like
Well,
everybody came in and bought it up.
but they brought them back. That's the thing. I got it. I have.
Right, I'm saying, like, I never.
found,
But if I
okay.
if I went once every 6 months, like
Okay.
I should be able to find it. Like that's
Right.
how much. Like they never limited it. Like
Right.
Target. Like I'm looking on Instagram of all these places of Target releasing stuff, and it's like, oh, there's 4 per. It's like 4
Right.
per 4 beachheads per store. Like why are they not? Why, like, you'll make more money if you just put 1,000 per store. Like you'll make more money.
And all you're doing is making the scalper. Yeah, the scalpers would get it and raise the price, triple the price of it.
So
and
like I got the
you're
one
just
that I
stuck
wanted,
with
so.
it. That's good.
So,
yeah, I want Beachhead though. I want Beachhead and Baroness.
See, like
Beachhead looks awesome.
I'm super cool with the idea of, like, you know, Hasbro has their own website now. We do live in a post Toy Store world. And so they're doing what they can to guarantee that these places, these big box stores like Target and Walmart, are going to carry their product. I think the brand's power is probably, for the most part, pretty solid on that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think, but then again, at the same time, who knows? I'm down with the idea of them having their own website, doing their own exclusives. You know what I'm saying? And you got to get in there and you got to pre-order, but they let you know well in advance. I literally just found out about a Power Rangers Target exclusive a few fucking days ago that was already doubled in price online. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been burned recently by certain things. The Target exclusive of the Thundercracker and Cybertron.
Yeah.
I mean, the Thundercracker and Skywarp.
The Skywarp is gone.
It's pissing me off because I don't want to pay $100 for that.
No.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing that me and Jordan were talking about. Like, we don't understand why they did that, because Skywarp, the purple and gold, with the hints of yellow, like that, you know, that character is, so many people love that figure. Like, I'll take a Skywarp over Starscream any day, just because that purple, black, and gold.
Yep.
It would be
awesome.
easier right now. I think it'd be easier for me to buy 2 more Starscreams and pay somebody to fucking paint them than it would be to get that fucking Thundercracker and Skywarp box set.
Well, that's one reason why I'm going back more into vintage, because, like, if I'm going to spend, like, I'm going to spend $100 on Thundercracker and Skywarp, I might as well spend $100 and buy a 1982 straight arm Snake Eyes.
That's exactly why I started focusing more on vintage.
Here. Like, that's in my heart. Like, I love Snake Eyes and the 82 G.I. Joes, the straight arms, more than I love. If I'm going to buy a Thundercracker, I'm going to spend $100. I'm buying an original.
Yeah. That's exactly why I've delved more into vintage. But we still have those modern collections we want to complete. I want every Lightning figure, and I've already come to terms with the idea that I can't get that San Diego Comic-Con exclusive with the Dragon Shield Red Ranger. Big deal. They re-released Zeo Gold, so that's cool. But, like, damn it, dude, give me some warning, please. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me an opportunity. Like, let me know if Target's got an exclusive. Let me know months ahead of time. Let me have more than just a few seconds of availability online.
Well,
you know,
the problem with that is bots. Like, Target, Target is, and
well, capture all of us then. I don't know what you got to do, but, like,
yeah, they don't have it on there, and it's just like anybody. One of us can do it. Is what they're doing is getting a bot, a click bot, and you set it up, and then it's like, okay, here it is. So once it goes live, your computer does everything, because that was what Jordan told me about, was he sent me that link, and that company in the UK already has Cobra Island stuff for pre-release, $10 more than what they had. Like, how do you have this? And it's like, you're only allowed.
They bought it out. They bought them out.
You're allowed two per transaction, and it's just like, you can, like, order as much as you want. Like, how many accounts did you have, and bots and computers did you have set up to do this? Because you can do, like, I don't know. It's craziness.
Add to cart.
So I could have had. I almost had all 4 of them, but got bought out at the last. Got kicked out during.
That sucks.
Putting all my information into for payment.
I'll tell you what, too.
It's hard, man.
You were talking about
hard
switching.
to be collecting nowadays.
If you're going to pay these prices, you might as well go vintage. Dude, in the recent months, getting the vintage He-Man stuff and Turtle stuff has meant so much more to me than getting any fucking exclusive Transformer. You know what I'm saying? Like it's I don't know. It's a better feeling to have a Castle Grayskull than a modern day Thundercracker Skywarp thing, and that you would have paid probably more for even. And so, you know, and the hunt is a big part of it, and that's cool. But the hunt means if you miss something, the hunt to me should be more for vintage and not necessarily for new. I mean, I get that there are chase figures and whatnot, and I get that if you're smart and you do pre-orders, that should be enough. But we're hitting a point where pre-orders aren't enough. At least with comic books, even if there's speculator push on, say, the new Thor issue and it's going $20, if you have that subscribed on your list, like Brooks and Jelani had no problem getting that book at my shop because they're subscribed to it.
Right.
They're down for it.
Right, but like the Dino Charge, because when I went looking for that, and when it was disappointing because there's a huge section. Like this is the section, and it's like Dino Charge. It's like they got 3 tags for it, and there's 4 on the shelf. Like, why do you have this big space, but only give 4 per store?
And allegedly, the reason why they do so many of these exclusive now is to guarantee that shelf space for the entire line of product. By having only 4 copies of this one exclusive figure, they're going to dedicate this whole section to having the rest of those figures at that time.
Yeah, but it's like this shelf right here. Like that's one Kurt Cobain pop. Like they have this whole entire section for that one pop. Like you don't need 4 shelves for one pop. Like you just need like a Bill Murray wherever the size of Bill Murray. Like that's all you need. So it was just crazy to see that huge section for 4 figures.
Brooks, is there anything that you wanted to get? You mentioned one earlier, but like, is there anything that you wanted to get that you found out was an exclusive and you can't get it and it's bothering you? It's pissing you off?
He showed me they're doing a Hellfire Club set with like the White Queen, Sebastian Shaw, and like it looks so nice. I'm like, man, I'd really like to have that.
Well, when I saw that the other day, I literally said Brooks would love this set.
But that's
it's Hellfire Club, man.
I mean,
with it being a Pulse exclusive, you can get it.
But it's in September.
It's in September, and you got to wait for it, and then you got to fight fight bots to get it.
No,
it's so
Hasbro Pulse is not as bad.
Yeah, on Hasbro Pulse, you don't have a problem.
I'll get it then.
That's the thing about fighting for a figure, you know.
Yeah.
Like, why should I have to fight to pay you money for a figure?
Yeah, but if all you have to do is go to a website on a certain day and pre-order it, and you don't have to be there the moment it goes live.
But that's fine. We don't know when.
Yeah, don't know when. It just appears.
So midnight September 1st, like you
whenever
every 2 hours, it could pop up at 4:00. Hopefully Hasbro Pulse, which is good about the email, will be like, hey, on this date, this is when it is.
Exactly, and that's for my show and tell, we're kind of leading into it, but for my show and tell, I got some exclusives in this week, and Mike has hooked me up with. In fact, all my show and tell tonight, Mike is responsible for in one way or another. I will say, but Brooks, I would highly encourage you to go onto HasbroPulse.com and sign up for their email on their email list. I literally get an email almost every day about some exclusive announcement. But when it's an exclusive to Walmart or Target, you're kind of shit out of luck unless you get lucky. Or
Walmart is terrible.
Walmart never has that stuff. Like it might show up like months after it's been released, maybe sometimes
well, in our area too, you got
coin toss.
In our area, you need to go to Coleman and Hampton Cove Walmart. Apparently, because I've heard people having I've had people have luck with the Ghostbusters in particular at those 2 locations.
Well, like one of the weird things that blows my mind of like things that I'm looking for you, and it's like as much as I go to Nashville, and you just walk into Nashville and there it is on the shelf
because it's a bigger city. Right?
It's a bigger city, but then it's just like, well, we have more Walmarts than Nashville has Walmarts.
Yeah,
believe it or not.
It's
just like, and I can find it. I can't find it here, but I can go up there and find it. I can go to Target and find it. Can't find it here. And there's three Targets, and one is there's 3 targets, and they're not super targets. They're all the small, regular size targets, like the one in Gardendale.
Yep.
Like
Not super
one,
centers.
like the one in Madison.
Yeah.
It's not a super center. So it's like, cool, I can find stuff there, but like I can't find it here. I just think we have too many people that want to flip toys, that want to collect. So
Do you think us in our are you saying in our area, in our town,
in North Alabama?
you just think we have like a plethora of toy scalpers compared to the population?
We do have scalpers. We have
the vendor we got
people that like are work at these stores that hold the stuff, and you
pretty much everybody that I ran off. Like everybody that I ran off from the shop that was a flipper and a speculator and a scalper, like those guys, like the guy that's supposed to hook you up with some of the bombs, the vendor I got the Punisher van for, like those guys are out there. Like that's what they're doing. So
apparently the bombs have been dropped off at the deep, and I'm excited to get them tomorrow.
Like one of the scary things is,
and Chris, by the way, is not selling me the Muckman, which is pissing me off. Then why even like tease me, bro?
Why you teasing me?
This is one of the things that I think is funny. It's one of the biggest flippers and speculators that we have in town lives in Corinth, Mississippi, 2.5 hours away. Yeah,
and he just drives up here and just scalps.
I went to a little seminary school in Corinth, Mississippi.
Corinth to Florence, the Shoals, to Decatur, to Athens, to Huntsville, to Scottsdale.
Hey, if that's what pays the bills, I guess go for it. But goddamn,
knucking foots, man.
But when something like the gigawatt happens and you don't even have a fucking chance,
that wasn't even fair.
But at the same time, we know it's going to Hasbro Pulse in October, so all we got to do is just wait.
And like I remember that I still had the map, and me and Jelani have not done this, but we were supposed to go with Wes.
We got to do it. We were supposed to go with Wes, man, and we were supposed to go with a loop.
It's like this mecha loop,
Super Albert loop.
It's like,
and it hits every freaking Target and Walmart, and in this area, and from where we start to like Nashville up, like Kentucky, Great Escapes. Oh yeah, sorry.
Well, no,
I want to do that if it's just a day thing.
Yeah, it's the Mississippi, the Alabama,
Mississippi element loop. Yeah.
You go Alabama, Mississippi, South Tennessee.
Yeah. You hear this, Brooks? These guys are like plotting out their goddamn Candyland maps of what toy stores to go to.
Months ago, this was months and months ago.
But we figured it out. We figured it out because we walked into the store and it's just like, okay, how much time do you need in the store? It's like 50, like walk the aisle. They don't have it. Get in the car next. So it's like 15 minutes per store, and you're hitting something like 26, 27 stores in one day.
This is like the Appalachian Trail for nerds.
And if you can but that's what that's always been the fun. Like
you have to hunt, man.
Like, what are you doing today? Like, I'm off. Come with me to Scottsboro or Chattanooga. And like what? Like
I love road trips, and so, me and Mike have made a few of those trips. Not as extensive, but we always have luck for the most part.
Yeah,
I remember one time we had no luck. All I got was like a fucking average ass Iron Man figure and fucking food poisoning from a Mexican restaurant. I remember that. That was a great journey.
Don't
drink the Margarona. Don't drink it. It's terrible.
Oh yeah. That one. Okay. Because
I missed work for 2 days because of that shit.
Well, we've got I went hunting with Jelani, and we ate at a terrible Chinese restaurant. I went with you to over the mountain.
Yeah,
we ate
terrible
at a
Chinese restaurant. Don't go to a Chinese restaurant just randomly if you're toy hunting. Apparently,
especially with me.
And I'm always the guy on every road trip that's like, let's go try to find a place that we will never ever see again. You know what I'm saying? If it's like, I remember one time, oh my God, who was with us? Brooks, were you there at the pizza place when we went to Smashing Pumpkins? That was you, right?
Yeah.
We ate at that pizza buffet and that guy had just opened it and he was like selling us on this idea of like his 100 pepperoni, 100-inch pizza contest or whatever that he was going to do. That was the Smashing Pumpkins trip, right?
Oh, that's freaking nuts.
Was that you?
I think you might be thinking of a different trip.
That's
I
a
don't remember the pizza
311
place.
trip. Never mind. That was a 311
'cause-
trip. Mike, were you there?
No, we went to CC's.
There was we went to on some trip to Atlanta. I went to some random pizza buffet that had just kind of opened up. We wound up, because I kept being like, no, let's not go eat here. Let's wait till we see something that's like local or different, unique, right? Usually like down here, it's a barbecue place or something, right?
Yeah,
But there, we wound up in the strip mall. It was you, because James and Kevin were. It's got to be a 311 trip.
Yeah, but it was the CC's Pizza.
It wasn't a CC's. It was a CC's type place, but it was like it had a different
It was
name.
an all-you-can-eat pizza buffet.
Yeah, but it had just opened, and we were like probably within this dude's first 10 customers. I don't fucking know, but he wouldn't leave us the hell alone. He just kept coming up to. He's like, I got this idea. It's called the 100 pepperoni pizza. It's a 100-inch pizza, and it's 100 pepperonis and blah 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 blah. Do you remember that, Mike?
I drove.
Even if you think it's CC's or not, but do you remember that guy like hassling us over this fucking pizza thing?
No, because it's food in front of me, so I'm just gonna eat. And like somebody's talking, it's like
he just kept coming up to us. He's like, "Is there anything in particular you want?" And so we were like coming up with like random pizzas to like for this dude to fucking make.
Were you
we were like his only customer.
The turtle pizza?
No, he didn't have like peanut butter and marshmallows or
That's
nothing.
what I'm saying, man.
Yeah, but he did have the macaroni and cheese pizza.
Yeah, because I was like, can you make a macaroni and cheese? Because CC's has a macaroni and cheese pizza that's delicious. And I remember we played games and won tickets, and I got this I just got some silly shit from it, whatever. That was a 311 trip then, wasn't it? Yeah. Anyway. What were we talking about? Bad Chinese buffets. Don't go to a random Chinese buffet.
You got to go to the good ones. You got to find the reputable ones.
Yeah, you got to trial and error it in your own town. Don't take that gamble in somebody else's town.
Because you never know. You got to look at health scores, man. You got to look at health scores. Tells you everything you need to know.
That doesn't necessarily tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you got to eat the food. Find out.
The sad thing is the pizza place that I want to eat in Nashville. Like if we do another trip up there, it's pretty much drop me off. I'm gonna wait in line, and then as soon as y'all get done, come back and pick me up, and my food should be ready.
Damn.
It is. I've had it once. It's great. Probably some of the best pizza I've had, but it's just the line's 3 blocks long for a slice. So it's like, okay,
yeah,
just gonna wait.
Home of the nice slice.
What do you know if the Great Escapes are open up there?
Most everything is open. I heard something about
Nashville never closed. Didn't you hear, buddy?
Yeah,
I heard
Cowboys don't give a shit, man.
Yeah,
I believe it.
What is it? John Smith, Joe Smith, something like that. Kid Rock's partner, just going crazy. You can just Google COVID-19 Nashville downtown, and you can
let me let that go. Man, that's a shame.
In our area, Herminio, there are good Chinese buffets in our area.
Yep.
The only problem is not anymore. The buffets are kind of banned right now, aren't they?
Yeah, you can order online. I mean, you can call in and get food. My favorite is Meteor Buffet. Meteor Buffet is my jam.
I don't trust that shit, man.
It's awesome.
I've seen the news. I've seen the news reports, man. I don't know how you eat that shit. My favorite is New China Buffet, the one next to where I used to live.
New China's
I actually still do takeout from them because I know that people say don't eat Chinese buffet sushi, but theirs is like fucking amazing. Legit. Yeah. And 88's kind of okay.
It's okay. They did find like a rat. They did cook a rat once.
That was years ago.
What? That was years ago. Who cares? That food is great. The hibachi is amazing. Their sushi is awesome too.
Their sushi is pretty decent.
Their sushi is awesome, man.
And the rat wasn't cooked or nothing. It was just running in the light.
It was in the ceiling, wasn't it?
You can find it.
They can make the burgers out of that rat.
The video, rat burger, not bad. You can find that video on YouTube. Just type in like Huntsville Buffet rat, Huntsville like buffet. It's on there. Like somebody videotaped it, and it's running across the lights. Yeah.
Oh God.
It's really funny.
Yeah, it put me off the place for a while, but that food's too good,
too.
Man.
Me too.
Good food.
I miss buffets right now. Even the Whole Foods buffet. Too.
Like I miss even Golden that, Corral, as random as that is.
I don't like Golden Corral.
I don't know why. but I miss Golden Corral.
It's because Delaney likes paying one flat fee and stuffing his face with as much as possible. So do I, homie.
The shit, dude.
Yeah,
buffet,
I love that
man.
shit too. That's the best buffet I ever went to was in Tunica. Holy shit, casino buffets are the shit, dude.
Yeah.
They were giving me goddamn mimosas too.
Yeah.
It's like goddamn 11 o'clock. It's like 11 a.m. I'm drinking mimosas. I'm getting fucking loaded at the casino.
Yeah.
Eating some goddamn shrimp.
Good food, man.
As much as I want for $30. They are a bit more expensive.
But you're getting it real. Yeah.
It's funny. It's like you have to tell them it's all sectioned off. So you're like, I've got to go use the bathroom real quick. Like I got to go make some more room.
Because otherwise they'll give your table away.
Yeah. And you come back and you're like, where's my stuff? Like I had a whole thing of chicken wings just sitting right here and crab legs. Like what happened to it? Oh, we threw it away. We'll get you some more.
I miss going to the goddamn Korean buffet, man. Oh, I hadn't even been there for a while before all this COVID shit. So like,
the one on Jordan?
COVID is
because it moved across the street, right?
Moved across the street, yeah. It was good. It's good food.
That's that place where you can just time when the Korean fucking barbecue ribs come up. Like everybody gets the fuck out of their seat and they just run to the goddamn
like crab legs. It's just like
crab legs, exactly.
God dang
You
it.
get a new China buffet and like all of a sudden you hear a commotion. You're like, oh shit, they just put up new crab legs. Quick, everybody. They're like brandishing their fucking weapons to get through the goddamn line.
Yeah, man.
You get up there, there's nothing left.
Wasteland.
It's just steaming fucking water left. You're like,
it's always like one.
Like, let me get a sip of that water, that crab water.
One person will get all of it. I'm like, man, you see all this line?
I've seen a dude and I have a plate of nothing but crab legs, bro. He's like, I'm just here for the crab legs. I get a new helping every 45 minutes.
What was the Chinese buffet place that had the frog legs?
That's Crab Meter Buffet. They have frogs legs. New China has frogs legs too, but
New China will have frogs legs sometimes.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Oh man,
I think 88's had them before. I think I've seen them at 88.
88's had them. Yeah, 88 has them. Yeah.
I think that was the first time I had frog legs was 88.
88 doesn't have crab legs, which sucks.
No, because they know the commotion that it would bring about.
It's across the street from me. Like I live right beside 88 Buffet.
That's the busiest Chinese buffet in town when it's open. Isn't it? Yeah,
it is. It's nuts, man. And they close down and they don't have takeout orders. So I'm like, I have to go either to Meteor Buffet or New China to like.
Did you guys know that Chuck E. Cheese is operating on the the Grub South and Grubhub sites under a different name, like so people don't know it's Chuck E. Cheese, and so people are like, "Oh, a new Italian restaurant," and so then you ordered fucking Chuck E. Cheese pizza.
Oh, that's nuts!
Isn't that? It starts like a P or something, I think, but it's
they
like
gotta make a living.
I think it's Judd Nelson Peretti's pizza or something. I don't know. It's something funny. It's ridiculous though. Because I was like, nobody, if it just said Chuck E. Cheese, nobody would fucking order that shit. People only go to Chuck E. Cheese because they got beer and they can drop their kids off. Their food is shit. Their food is shit. Salad bar is decent. Food is shit.
Last time I was there, I had a decent pizza. It was just jalapenos and cheese, but
it's like Little Caesars pizza, man. And even Little Caesars has stepped their game up.
Caesars is a little better. Yeah.
You get the deep dish, you're good. You're golden.
Oh, look, they might as well just have a vending machine for their pizza. It's just like, here you go. Here's your pizza. You know you like it for $5.
It's not
That's right around the corner.
But you don't go there for the food.
Well, if you go and get the $5 pizza, you're getting a $5 fucking pizza.
You're getting a $5 pizza. And it was cooked yesterday.
Yeah, and most of the volume is the air bubbles in the fucking crust. Cheese pizza from Little Caesars. I hate it, man. Like pizza party's the best thing ever. I'm not super picky when it comes to pizza. I love Domino's. I don't necessarily like Papa John's, but I'll eat it, you know? Yeah. But like when someone's like, we're gonna do a pizza party, hell yeah. And they're like, so we're gonna get 20 Little Caesar pizzas, and you just go,
no.
You still off the pork?
Yeah.
I am still off the pork, yeah. I haven't reintroduced pork yet.
That makes pizza a little more complicated too.
It does,
because a lot of the pizza toppings revolve around pork, like pepperoni and sausage and all that shit.
There are more non-pork pizza toppings. You just don't ever think about them.
Yeah, but they're like the most common ones are.
I get you. Pepperoni. My favorite pizza would be right. Well, it's turkey pepperoni is what I personally use. But one day I'll reintroduce pork, but just sparingly, right? But pepperoni, jalapenos, green olives, black olives, mushrooms. That's the Rockin' Robbie special right there.
That's a good pizza.
Thin crust, light sauce, extra cheese.
Okay.
Magnifique.
You like eating planks with stuff on it.
Domino's is great, Herminio. I don't know what you're talking about. I had this conversation with Strickland. Strickland's a Papa John's guy, and I like Domino's. But to me, it's if I'm ordering pizza, I do Domino's often because of their $5.99 deal. But I would prefer Marco's or Donato's in our area.
It's $1 more for Marco's, so don't. It's $6.99.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. I don't just get a 2-topping fucking pizza. I'm like 2 toppings.
You get the 2 toppings.
And Domino's doesn't have green olives. Marco's and Donato's does.
Marco's has got the huge meatballs.
I haven't eaten
and
those.
Domino's used to have green olives years ago. They took them off.
Used to.
Yeah, they're all most every place is black olive.
Yeah,
I like both. I gotta have both.
Have you? Of course, you guys have had Terry's, right? You've had Terry's pizza.
Yeah, it's way greasy.
Yeah.
But it's not It's not as good as I remember it being.
The pizzeria over off Bailey Cove in Weatherly, like that place.
Doesn't this sound like a guy from New York? If your pizza needs toppings, it's not that good. Well, we don't live in fucking New York here,
Sorry, sir. Yeah, we don't need just cheese and sauce. Yeah,
sounds like
sometimes.
I would love to go to New York and have a slice of pizza with Herminio. I'd buy it for you, buddy.
Yeah, I'm one of those terrible people. But last time I had a piece of New York pizza, it was pineapple, cream cheese, pineapple cream cheese, almonds, and ham.
That sounds like a fucking California pizza,
That's
man.
like
You didn't get that shit.
That thing was good.
Don't they, in New York pizza, don't they use a different kind of water in the dough? Don't they use like a soda water or something like that? Isn't that something that they is? I don't know. I think I don't know. What's that, Brooks?
And then they use Hudson River water.
Oh, straight from the East River.
That's right. You can smell
You can taste the cement and the fucking aluminum. Yeah, I'm sure down here in Alabama, pizza to us is just like ketchup and bread. Like most people, you could literally give them a loaf of bread in a disc shape with ketchup on top of it. They'd be like, "This is fine pizza. It's good pizza, man. Roll Tide."
I was gonna say, Herminio, if you look up Joey's House of Pizza and tell me what you think of that place.
I love that Mike, being from Alabama, is telling someone who lives in New York where to go and get pizza. No, this just cracks me up.
No, it's just like look it up, and that's the closest place that we can get good.
Is that where you got your goddamn California fucking hippie pizza, man, with the pineapple and shit?
No, look up Joey's house.
Got arugula on it, man.
That's the place in Nashville.
Fresh avocados.
Oh, that's the place in Nashville. I got you.
The place in Nashville, like we have decent.
Nashville's just a bunch of country hipsters. We know that. Come on, let's get real. It's a bunch of fucking Kenny Chesney and Ben Folds fans.
They ain't real hicks like us.
Yeah, man.
Woo!
We like our pizza with ketchup.
Get some bread,
ketchup and ranch. Gotta have some ranch on my pizza. Now they're starting to put ranch on the pizza. I'm like, look, I'm cool with dipping the pizza into the ranch. That's cool with me. Do not put this shit on there and then put it into an oven, please. There is nothing that sickens me more than like fucking the idea of hot fucking ranch dressing. Jesus Christ. It's like hot mayo. Like if you ever like fucking get a goddamn a sub sandwich or something, you only eat half of it, then you put the rest in the fucking microwave and you come back and you got hot lettuce and mayonnaise now. Ugh. That's what hell is. Hot mayonnaise.
No. Hot mayonnaise.
Here you go.
I'll take hot mayonnaise over hot lettuce any day.
Well, when the two are together, like when you microwave a McChicken.
That's
You better eat that shit first, homie. If you're gonna microwave anything, it's the quarter pounder.
When in doubt, just scrape all that. Just scrape it all off. If it's cold, just scrape it off.
I've done that shit too. Like scrape it off into a bowl and put it on after the fact.
The struggle is real.
It's like what was it? The McDLT or whatever the fuck it was. Remember it? That whole thing was like half of it's the cool,
Half of this,
half of it's the warm.
I got it every Friday.
I love that shit.
Love McDLT.
But the whole thing about reheating lettuce, it comes from Taco Bell. Like how many times
you cannot reheat a goddamn crunchy taco. I've tried it so many times. It's a whole different animal that I've actually grown to like.
It's like half a soft taco, but like not good.
This is what happens. So I'll order Taco Bell, and if I order it online, right, I'll be like, well, I have to hit a certain level in order to get delivery, right? And I wind up ordering more than I'm going to eat. And I plan it out. I'm like, okay, got to eat the crunchy shit first. Save the soft shit. Save the burritos. Save the tacos. Might as well say no lettuce. You know, no tomatoes.
Yeah.
Onions are cool. You can reheat onions for me. That's fine. That's groovy. But yeah, like try to reheat a goddamn 7-layer burrito, which we're losing. They're taking the 7-layer burrito off the menu.
What? Yeah, and the quesarito. The
quesarito's no surprise to me, but goddamn, 7-layer burrito.
Yeah,
that's one of their best ones, man. It's one of their best burritos.
That's true.
Do you remember that time we got super stoned and went to Taco Bell like at 3 a.m?
Which time?
And we were like, the time that we spent like $100 at Taco Bell, and we were like, we want 7-layer burritos, add grilled steak to it.
If you're spending $100 at Taco Bell, I mean, you must be pretty damn hungry.
You eat large.
Yeah. You'd be an army for $100.
Do you remember that time we went there and they were like, we're all out of beef? And I was drunk and I screamed out the window, then why the fuck are you open?
That's a valid point.
We used to go to Hardee's when they were like 24 hours a day to get monster burgers because we were stoned as hell at like 3. Then we eventually got a little bit older and realized, we can just go to a coffee shop like an IHOP or something like that.
Have their food ready for you. You just have to deal with the 3 a.m. crowd.
And then you drink coffee. I was the 3 a.m. crowd.
Yeah.
Like those people, you're like, those fuckers at IHOP at 3 a.m. That was me. Jelani's been in plenty of those situations with me.
Oh, yeah.
Screaming out fucking Madonna or fucking Field Mob lyrics at the top of your fucking lungs because you're drunk. And they thought it was a good idea to take you to go get goddamn pancakes and chicken wings. Like,
good times, man.
You're doing your clubbing days.
Clubbing days.
Yeah, man.
Movie theater days. I did a lot of that too, man.
We do not have Roy Rogers, but I wish we had a Kenny Rogers roaster and outside of my apartment where it just like fucking like shined a light in my face.
Their signs were amazing. Yeah.
Fable, Herminio, I'm not trying to be this southerner who's like just doesn't get it, but like to me, y'all's lifestyle in New York is just like Seinfeld. I still think it's like 90s Seinfeld. I'm just kidding. No, we don't have a Roy Rogers though. We don't have a Boston Market either, but we can buy it frozen in the
yeah, we had a Boston Market for a while.
Did we?
Yeah, we did over there off Whitesburg.
We have Cracker Barrel.
We had Cracker Barrel.
I had Cracker Barrel for lunch today. I had a fried chicken plate with their mashed potatoes suck ass, by the way. But their fried okra was really good, and their cornbread was dope as fuck.
I only deal with their breakfast, even when I eat there at night.
You know where Little Rosie's is, right?
Yeah. Next to that Chick-fil-A and Publix.
Yeah, that was where our Boston Market was.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm sorry, I was confusing that with Kenny Rogers Roasters. Kenny Rogers Roasters is where the Fazoli's used to be.
Fable says they're more like New Jack City and less like Seinfeld. I get that.
That's pretty depressing.
And you just can't say New York either. I'm not even super familiar if Herminio or like what like if they live in the Bronx or Brooklyn or Queens or whatever. I don't really know. Something about me wants to say the Bronx, probably just because Herminio's a Yankees fan. So Bronx Bombers, baby. 4-1. 4-1.
Woo!
All right, we're about 2 hours in. Let's get to show and tell. Who do we start with today? Brooks. Show and tell, brother. You're up.
Well, are you ready to go? on a magical voyage with Pirate Deadpool.
Arr!
I'm glad I went to you first, man.
I wasn't excited about this figure because it's just Pirate Deadpool. But now that I've got him, I kind of like him.
Yeah.
Like he has his cutlass and his katana. He's got his old flintlock pistol.
He looks cool as crap. I like him.
I got Maverick. Anybody who read 90s X-Men familiar with this dude.
Dude, some of Jim Chung's earliest work was on that Maverick solo series he had.
Oh yeah, he's got
Bishop's power.
Looks so good. He's got his crazy stock guns. Yeah.
Wasn't his first appearance in X-Men #4 along with Omega Red?
I believe so. Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
And
you got strong guy
of this legend.
You got strong guy.
I got old strong guy.
Dude, that looks good.
Guido.
I'm getting mine tomorrow. I'm getting all mine tomorrow. I'm so excited.
Now I've got to get a Lila Cheney figure for him to protect.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. That's cool. I can't wait to see that strong. I can't wait to see all my X Factor. All together. Yeah, dude.
And I got one more little kind of random weird thing. I doubt anybody would recognize this guy.
What the crap?
From a video game. But he looks like a wizard. He's actually a boxer.
Oh my god, what is that from?
It's from Lunar. It's an RPG for the PlayStation 1.
That is nuts.
It's like a promo extra thing that they gave you when you bought Lunar 2.
That's nuts, man.
Dude, didn't you have that back in the day?
Yeah, this is like I was living over at
George's. Yeah, that takes me back, dude.
I was like,
we used to fuck with that thing. We get all fucked up and we'd be like, man.
Super.
Arminio points out that the Yankees are 5-1 now. You're right. And then Herminio says, I lived in Williamsburg when it was really bad, but now it's a place for yuppies.
They gentrify everything.
And Herminio, you're in BK, right? What, British Knights?
Well, that was Burger King.
Burger King, you're in Burger King right now, right? Watching this. Yeah, I'm using their free Wi-Fi to watch PCP. Y'all ain't never had Burger King till you had New York Burger King.
They got tacos. They got better tacos.
You need condiments on your burger.
It doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter what region of the country you're in. Burger King tacos suck ass, bro.
That's Mike, the worst food I've ever eaten.
Mike, show and tell. You're up. What you got? Oh, I hit the wrong button.
So y'all saw this guy earlier. And Fable, I was going to say, just wait till the third-party RC comes out and save yourself like $100, and it's pretty nice. So anyway, this was the reflector that they use on the new Transformers. His G1 is, well, the knockoff G1 is up there, but the new version is this. It actually comes with.
Yeah. Oh, so you got all three. Okay.
Yeah. So it's all. So it's the. Well, I got to put it together, but it's the half. It's the purple one. And then for the new show, Walmart got the next Netflix figures, where you saw the Evil Jazz or the Evil Mirage, but this was the reflector. The color scheme was. It's also got the red. So, and it is cool. It is all changeable. Like if I wanted to, I can put all of this fun stuff onto.
You just have to get all three of those.
Yeah, so I bought
together.
But yeah, so you can take the stuff off of it. I'll try to do it real quick. But yeah, so like just kind of halfway there, like it just fits. So the flash and then. So that's a cool figure. I'm a photographer, so
it works out perfectly. Yeah,
it's a no-brainer for me to buy the photography one. I still got to get the original. So,
that is pretty cool, man.
And then I showed these to Robbie earlier, but I got these nice very 90s, 80s.
Yeah, Mike wants to be on Teen Dog Shades Night very badly.
No, I don't.
He does.
Okay, like,
He
if I
just
ever
like the
did.
other day. He was like, "Oh yeah, if you ever need someone on Teen Dog Shades Night, just holler."
I got conspiracies. I got conspiracies.
Man, I'm no Kevin Stokes, but yeah.
See, that's why I didn't invite you on that show. I was like, "No, Kevin's going to handle this."
And then I got my Deadcore glasses in from the Dead.
Oh,
Dead.
nice.
That's cool.
Nice little.
Those are very cool.
I like those.
So that's it.
Herminio says yes, BK, which I think means Brooklyn. And then Fable says I'm in the Bronx. Hell yeah. There you go. Yep, Teen Dog Shades. Nope, Herminio's currently in Queens. My mom still lives in BK. Is the BK?
It's Brooklyn, man.
That's Brooklyn, right? Okay.
Brooklyn.
I only know the five. God, what do they even
The
call
five
them?
boroughs.
The boroughs.
The
Jesus.
boroughs.
Because of the Beastie Boys song.
Gargoyles.
Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, and Staten. From the Battery to the top of Manhattan, Asian, Middle Eastern, and Latin, Black, White, New York. You make it happen. I'm that kid that grew up in Alabama that just wishes I was a New Yorker. But if I ever went there, I'd probably be scared shitless.
I've been there twice. It is very, very scared shitless kind of place, but it's fun too and
For
expensive.
those of us down here in the good South,
So expensive.
y'all got sweet tea
Not
up
that
there.
bad.
No, they don't. They got Snapple though. Snapple is the closest thing to sweet tea you'll get.
That ain't sweet tea.
I know.
That's like
That's
peach
about it,
Kool-Aid.
though.
That's like brown peach Kool-Aid.
that
ain't
is,
sweet
that is
tea.
all they.
Yeah.
And it's Hudson River water.
I learned that in Chicago. It's like they don't have sweet
Oh yeah,
tea
they don't have sweet tea.
anywhere.
That hurts, man. We got sugar packets. That's not the same.
It's not. You can't. You got to. That's just got to be
You can't-
hot.
You gotta be hot, man. You gotta make
Like
this
give me
stuff
like
hot.
okay, give me 3 cups of hot ass
Syrup.
tea, some sugar packets, and then a cup of ice,
Yeah.
and give me 45 minutes. Anyway, Jelaine, show and tell you're up. What's up, my man?
With that steep. Well, Brooks stole my thunder with one thing, but yeah, this here is my Maverick. I love Maverick. He is so clean. I'm coming back tomorrow to get the rest of the group so I can get Strong Guy, but he is quite nice. Then my next figure, some of the stuff I got from the con, but I'm just gonna show one. Of course, I got my Swamp Thing. This is my childhood Swamp Thing. I got this as a kid, the little neighbor boy. Cut this part, and I was mad at him for like most of his life. I don't talk to him ever anymore because of the issue. But I love the grappling thing, and you can squeeze his arm and it goes back in very easily. But I love this Swamp Thing from Kenna. And then next, I want to show off my Azrael, my McFarlane Azrael. This is clean. I am very excited about this figure. I added an Ares figure from the movie Wonder Woman to him. I'm gonna probably get 2 of these swords, just because he looks great. I mean, I like the size of him. McFarlane, what he excels in. I like the size of his bigger figures, and this one looks like amazing. I'll show you the back of him. It's just massive, and I can't wait to get a Nightfall Batman from him, with this same kind of body. But he is so he's so detailed. He's not really articulated as well. He kind of makes them like statues, but this bad boy is clean. I like this one. And then finally, this is the one, I guess y'all thought I left early because of this, but I went to the con and I bought something I shouldn't have bought. But I'm glad I did and kind of mad at the same time because I have a rule. If there's a certain price point for a figure, I won't open it. There are rules to what I do. Sometimes I open things, sometimes I don't. And this was too expensive for me to do. But this is my John Wick Mayfix figure, and it's not coming out of this box because I pay too much for it, but it comes with the dog, it comes with the guns. It's the best John Wick figure I've ever seen, next to the Select, but the Select is a little too big and it's shiny, so I can't really show it off as well as I want to.
And you're getting a lot of glare from that.
There's a lot of glare from the rep, which is staying on.
Maybe you should just open it.
No, maybe I should never open this figure. But that's the back of it. That's kind of the action poses and stuff that he comes with.
Get the knockoff from China.
No, I refuse because it's crap. Well, I might, but it's crap, and I gotta wait too long to get it. So, but I love this one. I love it. I just feel bad I can't open it. But yeah, that's my stuff. That's what I got so far.
Very nice.
Those are the figures.
All three of mine, in some way or another, Mike is probably responsible for. So I am up now. Show and tell. What do I got? First of all, got this box of Fruit Loop Pop-Tarts. Limited edition. Cool. Mike hooked me up with this, so thank you very much, Mike, for finding these. I haven't opened them yet. I think I'm going to scout these online. Just kidding. I'll probably get into them tonight, but I was finishing up my Special K dark chocolate cereal last night. This one, Mike highly encouraged me to pre-order this on Hasbro Pulse because he says if you don't pre-order it, you're going to regret it. And it's already been selling apparently for over $100. But there's my Psycho Green Ranger.
Nice.
Finally came in on Friday. I got this and pre-ordered this back in I don't know, what was it, April or May or something?
Yeah, something like that.
And it finally came in, so I'm very excited about this. I'll be opening this up Sunday night on Rockin' Robbie Live. And it's just such a gorgeous figure. The Psycho Rangers look amazing. They have that finger lightning effect. And wow. And I got to give mad props to Mike for hooking me up. I said, when we were talking about exclusive toys earlier, I said, well, I just found out about a Lightning Collection one that's exclusive to Target, and it was already sold out and doubled the price online. And then Mike goes and finds it for me. So there's Dino Charge Black right there.
Yay.
Very excited for that. If you look on the back, you can see how good those effects are going to look on them. But Mike hooked me up like crazy with these.
Man, I can't take all the credit for this one. That's 100% Jordan calling me. Yeah,
Nice.
Jordan called me and it's like, hey, I found this. Is this what you're looking for? I said, yeah, that's the one. Like, which one are you at, University or Jones Valley? And he says, Jones Valley. I was like, sweet, I'll be there in 5 minutes. And got there, and he was waiting for me by the front door and just picked him up. And then he said that when he found him, there was 3. So when I went back there to look, there was the one. I had the 2 for you and Strickland, and then saw the 3rd one. And then I went back today to go look for the G.I. Joes, the Cobra Island stuff, and it was already gone. But in a huge space where the Cobra Island, that one figure had a whole, that shelf, like a whole shelf dedicated to it, which I thought was ridiculous. So the figure, it should have held, the shelf space for that figure, it should have had at least 10 to 12 figures on that shelf, but it just had 4.
Well, either way, I'm so thankful for Jordan and for you for hooking me up with this Dino Charge Black Ranger.
And Jelani, Jordan's the dude that
I know.
Tony.
Yeah. He told me he's the one that bought that G.I. Joe standee. Yeah. He bought the whole thing. I was like, wow. But and I saw the Joes come out at Target, the first set, but they're all in crushed boxes, the one across the street from me. I was like, why in the world why are they not discounting these? All the boxes were crushed. And I was surprised that they were selling them. But that's the first time I'd seen them in a Target.
Yeah, I haven't seen them at all. Seen them at all in Target.
That's the first time I saw them in Target. I didn't get any of them, but they're that, and on top of they're crushed.
Well, I still got 10 cases that are.
You're coming. They're coming, right?
Yeah, I've got yours.
Cool. So, all right. I got to find out about Cobra. I got to figure out these Cobra Island ones. So
man,
more than anything, that's nuts.
8:00 in the morning, I would go to Target and ask.
Okay.
Just to be safe, because I don't know what they're doing. So,
and the person's gonna be like, I don't know what a G.I. Joe is, but
our
milk is buy one get one free right now, and we have hot dogs on sale at the snack bar.
No, I mean they know what they're doing. They're pretty spot on.
Snack bar's closed.
To what it is.
No milk, buy one free, get one
You're right. Anyway, thank you guys
I'll
so
check it
much
out,
for
though.
joining us. That's the end of the stream. We talked about New Jack City, and then we bullshitted for a little bit. Then we talked about toys, and then we showed off some new toys. We'll be back next week to wrap up Action Fest 2020 with a look at all 5 Bourne films. Very excited for that show. And then we got some excitement coming up. We're going to do a John Hughes movie poll in the PCP Army. So go ahead and join up with the PCP Army in Facebook. We're going to put up 5 John Hughes movies, and the winner of the poll we will review on August 14th. We're very, very excited for that.
Hey, that's the release date for Cobra Island.
Yeah, and Hammer Time Holshoe's already agreed to be on that show, so very, very exciting. And that was a Fable idea, I believe, if I remember correctly. To Sunday afternoon, Hammer Time Holshoe, speaking of him, has rented out an entire theater for the Excitable PCP crew, and we'll be watching Jurassic Park. We're not going to be streaming it or nothing, but how cool for us. And then
we're just going to watch it.
Yeah, and then
Well, happy for us.
And then we're going to spend a lot of time in August revisiting the Bill and Ted films, looking forward to the new one, Tenet, and then Horror Fest starts. I already made an announcement on some of the films that we're going to be covering. Near Dark, The Lost Boys, 1941's Wolfman, all 6 George A. Romero Dead films in one night, and all 5 Phantasm films in one night as well. So we got a lot of fun and excitement here on PCP Live Movie Nights on Friday nights. So thank you so much for joining us here on the journey and more. And join us, for all the other stuff that we do. Sunday morning, weekly pop culture wrap up. Sunday night, Rockin' Robbie Live. I am Rockin' Robbie Billups. That's Jelani.
Hi. Bye.
That's Brooks. And that's Mike. And we appreciate y'all for being here. We are out.
It's been fun.
Have a good time. And remember when you're living in the city.